Welcome back. Well, 2025 was about AI going mainstream, driving double-digit gains in tech and fueling record deal-making. Now we are looking at 2026 as the next phase of AI and the boom moving beyond data centers and into devices and robotics. The IMF pointing to steady global growth driven by accelerating AI adoption. Joining me now, someone who is in the middle of it all, is the president and CEO of Qualcomm, Cristiano Amon. Cristiano, great to see you.
Great to see you, too. Happy to be here.
Thanks so much for being here. It's my first interview with you at Qualcomm, and I'm excited to talk about the growth story that is your company. How would you assess the backdrop right now?
Look, I think it's a very exciting time. I think we started talking about AI everywhere before it was popular. I think before we talk about AI going to all the different devices, I think it really connects well with the diversification of the company. I think we're one of the few semiconductor companies to go from 5 watts to a wearable device that connects it to an agent to a data center. And I think we see that happen across all the sector, from automotive to industrial to mobile to robotics. So it's an exciting time.
I want to talk to you about the auto sector because I know you're working very closely with the auto sector. But what you just said, I mean, the semiconductor industry has dug in on different semiconductor chips. But at Qualcomm, you're doing something different. You're diversifying the whole portfolio. And you showed that just recently in your analyst meeting, where a lot of the Wall Street analysts came away thinking, wow, the product portfolio is getting bigger. Tell me about that product portfolio and where growth comes from.
Yes. Look, I think Qualcomm is it's a very unique semiconductor company. I think what separates us from our peers, you have companies that are specialized in CPU, companies specialized in GPU. I think we have one of the few companies in America that have everything from cellular, Wi-Fi, to Bluetooth, to all form of computing. And we have been going from mobile devices all the way to the data center. And I think that's create an opportunity. Really, diversification was a natural thing for us and enable us to go into every industry, because every industry right now is exactly being touched by computing and AI.
And you talked about PC product performance in terms of giving us a metric to look at.
Yes, look, I think historically people didn't think of Qualcomm as a computing company. They look at our heritage in mobile. They think this is a cellular company. Yes, we're very proud of it, being the leader on every G generation of wireless. But we have actually developed a lot of computing capabilities. When we entered the PC space, the fastest laptop you can buy right now is actually powered by Snapdragon X.
Is that right?
That is right.
Well, is that what people want right now? More speed?
More speed.
You need it.
I never heard anybody tell me, oh, my processor is too fast. I don't want anything with less speed. So, and I think with AI, this is even more true.
Well, there's even another element here, because with the Trump administration's new policies, it zeroes you in on national security, which is something else that we've been talking about. AI has become a strategic and economic must-have. So tell me what that looks like in the coming 5 years.
Look, you're going to see AI going basically everywhere. It's the new form of doing software. It's a new form of doing computing. And you're going to have every single thing becoming intelligent. Actually, what I like about this conversation, there's often this discussion about the reindustrialization of America, how you're going to build smart factories, how you're going to bring robotics. And I think as AI, compute is at the center of all of this. And this one, at CES, for example, we launched our robotics platform. And I think we surprised everybody in a short period of time. Qualcomm's now also in robotics. We see, for example, when you think about the future of manufacturing, I think the future of very industries, AI, autonomous system, driving robots, driving smart machines. And I think this is a great opportunity. That's why we like the AI plan of the administration, to get American technology everywhere. And I think AI is going to be a way that we're going to do that.
Tell me about your work with the automakers. This is a key sector that will see change as a result of this new technology.
Yes. See, we're very proud of what we did in the automotive industry. We're now working with virtually every car company. And what's happening, Maria, is the car became a computer on wheels, right? And the car became a computing surface. You're going to not only driving your car, but the car will drive for you, and you're going to get productive on your car. You're going to get entertained. So you have all the semiconductor to power all of those screens in the car, connect the car to the cloud, and drive autonomous driving. And I think that's what we're building. We're also excited because you often talk about AI changing how you interact with computers with those agentic experiences and you talk to an agent, that is very natural when you're behind the wheel. Voice is a perfect interface for when you're talking to the computer in your car.
How exciting. So what does the handset revenue become versus everything else?
Look, we have a plan. We definitely can told investors when we get to about fiscal 29, we expect handsets to be about 50% and other 50% of the revenue company, all of those new industries. I think we have delivered now quarter after quarter double-digit growth in auto, in what we call the industrial IoT segment, and I think we're going to be continue to execute on that plan.
What a growth story. Cristiano, we'll be following it. We so appreciate you walking us through it.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Great
you.
to be here.
Cristiano Amon, CEO of Qualcomm. We'll be right back from the World Economic Forum here in Davos. Stay with us.